Oh, there you are. Hello, hello, hello. Pull up seat. Merry Christmas to you. It's the fourth day. Well, it's after Vespers now. You can tell it's dark. Fifth day of Christmas now. Oh, lovely Yuletide. Those of us who, I'm not tooting my own horn now, just talking about those of us in general, who keep the Advent fast, we got a 12-day Christmas. And my advice is to keep every day of it as glad as you can. Coffee. Lovely stuff. And in a mug that was given me a couple of Christmases ago. It says, World's Best Cat Dad. I know that everyone else's cats will say, no, my dad's the best. I hope that mine think that. The gift wasn't from cats, but from parishioners. Well, speaking of cats, let's talk about foxes. Tonight's episode I have entitled Vulpinity, which is foxishness, or foxiness, not in the sense of grapes or wine, but in the sense of being like a fox. Well, what do foxes do? They're tricksy animals, aren't they? Always jumping from around a bush to surprise a vole or a mouse or something that they will find tasty. A great deal of a fox's diet, by the way, during the season, is composed of fruit. My dear mother is rather vulpine. She's tricksy. A bit of a practical joker. And that's where my sibs and I picked that up. My father assured us early on in our career as jokesters that he was excluded from any such game. And any time that he wound up included in one, I promise you it was strictly by accident. Mother, well, I'll just tell a story and you'll see. We had moved just a few miles into the country from the place where we had been living, which was more of a neighborhood, into a place where it was more farms. And sure enough, I would go work on the neighbors' farms to make a little money occasionally, to blow it on books. Best thing in the world you can waste money on is books. the next best thing you can waste money on, your collection. Well, we had just moved there, and I suppose I was 12 years old. Yes, must have been, because I was just getting ready to start the 7th grade, which is the first year of middle school, isn't it? 7th and 8th, and now 9th, and they group those all together, and high school's only 3 years in some places. Nevertheless, getting ready to start 7th grade. My brother, 2 years younger than I, would have been getting ready to start the 5th grade. And so we decided, when we were moved in to a house just 2 houses away from my mother's parents, that we needed to go explore our new district and see what it was like. And at the end of the road was a large farm, and the farmer's mother lived in a really pretty house there by not far from the road, and we were out exploring, and Mother told us that that family had been the great friend of her brother. And so we just popped in. As children do, we knocked at the door and said who we were. And we were invited inside by the farmer's mother and given a place to sit and cold glasses of water because it was summer. And we began to talk. And we had the best time talking. And toward the end of our conversation, into the room glides another little old lady who was dressed in a white nightgown, which was odd. It wasn't quite time for the evening meal yet. I suppose it was 4:30 or 5. This figure comes gliding into the room dressed in a white nightgown, the blankest of expressions on her face, her eyes looking at nothing. There was a lull in the conversation, but our hostess paid it no mind. And the little old lady in the nightgown wandered away. Well, this struck us as odd, but things happen, don't they? And it was the middle of the afternoon, coming for late afternoon, and not long after, we made our excuses and went home, because we knew that it was coming up on time to eat. Yay. And we get back to the house, and Mother asked us where we'd been. And we told her that we went to visit our uncle's friend's mother. And she said, "Oh, wonderful, she's a good person." And then we mentioned this apparition of a little old lady in a white nightgown who just kind of wandered into the room and stood in silence, and then withdrew. Mother said, "Oh yes, that's Jenny. That's her sister. She's been dead for years." This came as a bit of a shock to my brother and me. There wasn't anything that would contradict her. I mean, her sister hadn't reacted to her presence. And the apparition had never spoken a word, nor looked at anything in particular, just into the distance. And then she was gone again. Well, honestly, it spooked the big jabbers out of us, hearing that Jenny had died all those years ago. Yet there she was. We were spooked till later that evening when we told my father the story of how we had gone and that we were pretty sure we'd encountered a ghost. He gave my mother a look and asked, "What did you tell them?" She said, "Oh, that's Jenny. That's Mrs. Grimm's sister." "What else did you tell them?" "Well, I might have mentioned that she's been dead for years." My father said, "She's not, is she?" My mother said, "No, but you should have seen their faces." Foxish, that's what she is. It's as though she'll either lie in wait, or sometimes a little bird just happens to stroll past the bush where the fox is hiding. And there's the situation. Why not take advantage? You know, we were unspooked hearing that, and we even laughed. Whether out of the humor of the thing or whether out of sheer relief. Later, by 3 or 4 years, I'm getting my learner's permit and beginning to drive. And my mother says, "Do be careful driving at night on this road." "Yes, ma'am." She said, "Sometimes Jenny likes to wander." And that was almost as spooky as the ghost story. Well, as I say, I think it's going to rain. I probably ought to go in before it starts. It was awfully nice to see you. Don't be a stranger. And I'll try not to be any stranger either. Good night.